Hey guys, it's Jason with the Alliance Project. I found another paper. This came out 5 days ago. Wanted to show you guys. They found about 6 to 12 new exoplanets entering our solar system, and they're explaining that this Planet 9 phenomena is the one that was going around the binary star out there. Essentially, is shepherding these planets into our solar system from the other solar system. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the paperwork. Just scroll through it here, show you, let you guys read it, like I said. Basically what they're saying is they did different simulations, and they found out that a super Earth, a massive planet, 10 times this massive Earth, could be out there essentially around Jupiter or Neptune. And if it was at the right angle of inclination, 99% of the time, we couldn't detect it unless it was over a certain magnitude, meaning brightness level. Meaning the Saturn's moon Iapetus has a dark side and a light side. There's objects that are darker than coal. There's some things that do not reflect light, and there's a lot of things that just do not appear as shiny or reflective as other materials. Okay, goes over some of the information. They put in object 5 Earth masses in this demonstration. They're giving the names of the new objects. And then they evolved this diagram over the course of 4.5 billion years. Okay, and then they show you where they're noticing these new planets coming in there. So they're actually observing and discovering about 6 new planets this week entering our solar system. And they explain this. The very final conclusion is we have a very massive planet near Neptune. What people don't understand about trans-Neptunian objects means they cross Neptune's orbit. It doesn't mean they're outside of it. Pluto is a trans-Neptunian object. When it is the closest, it is closer than the average of Neptune. So it crosses it, trans-Neptunian. That's where that comes from. So this is a 56-page report. Obviously, I'm not going to read it all over you, but they have new trans-Neptunian objects. They're calling extreme ones because they do not follow normal orbital diagrams or predictive orbits. So when you consider the solar system and the universe electrical, and the sun at the center is the capacitor, and it has another capacitor out in a form of a cloud at the outside of the solar system, and it discharges this information from positive to negative, the polarities, throughout the solar system. The planets essentially turn into batteries, and we can see the wiring diagrams and how they interact. But if we have a positive or a negative charge build up, they can be pulled in and do some different things that we're not seeing beyond. It's basically comes down to the effect of if gravity is a field effect, which meaning instantaneous, or if it is more along the lines of it has a reaction equal to its distance over a period of time, meaning the further away it is, the more that the speed or the power of gravity would go faster or slower. But I argue that it's a field effect and it's instantaneously. It's faster than speed of light. That's why we can't measure it, essentially, because it is one of the superpowers that holds the world together, and it has to do with electromagnetic charge, the positive and the negative sticking together. So they found some of this stuff in Chile, New Zealand, Hawaii, and the South Pole. When they add these things in, they added 4 giant planets. All right. And they put them in different places. And they found out over 4 billion years that these things could hold a steady orbit and explain why the comets and all these things come in. And not only that, they only did it with 6 of the 12 objects, and it started coming out, we'll say, statistically significant correlation with the numbers there. So any more would just be more math that add just more, that raises the doubt even, the lack of doubt even more. Basically, the percentage gets to almost certainty at times. And what they're saying is they found objects that come a lot closer than what was first hypothesized. And the weird thing is they're just now finding these things. This is, as I told you, we did the show about a month ago. Same scientists, I told you they'd start warming us up. They have to warm us up. That way it's fair game. They've been telling about this. They've been talking about it. Scientists have been talking about it. And then they don't really talk about anything else. So they're trying to get the number, the count here. How many objects, planets are in our solar system. And here, you want to read over this. This is pretty cool. Get to page 26 here. These are all names of objects that we've discovered since about 2014 or 2013. And here we go. Finding a super Earth, or mini Neptune. And they're showing you how they've looked and what they've looked over. We note that there is a super Earth shepherding the inner Oort cloud objects and extreme detached objects in their orbits. These two populations are likely to be from the same source. Further, the orbits of the inner Oort cloud objects would not be primordial and directly related to the Oort cloud, and thus the name inner Oort cloud objects does not seem appropriate. What they're saying is there's 2 Oort clouds, and the inner one is probably affected and pulled, and essentially the result of a big planet being near the actual Oort cloud. So here's your references. And there is about 26 pages of references. So yeah, if you want to look at the evidence as Planet X right here, there you go. All those pages, well, go over. And here's your data discovery of the telescope. So the red ones are actual objects. The white ones are too. Some of the circles are too, but what they're doing is kind of highlighting some of them. And you can see the clustering of objects as it goes down. I think they're trying to explain a tail, a debris trail. And there's our plane of the ecliptic. Notice how these are all below the plane of the ecliptic. As you can see, I got some pretty straightforward data out of some of this. I know some of it may seem Chinese to you, but if you look, you'll understand. Gotta read, freeze over this stuff. Just giving it to you for your own research. Remember, they try to explain all these orbits with this orbit. And this orbit explained with the sun right there. So we have two unstable orbits here. Black and green. See how they go up and down. And the rest goes straight across, very predictable. So I'd say if we look up these two objects right now, wherever they are in the solar system, I'd say that's probably a good hint that it's near between that and the sun. They're showing you the size and the number of the objects in correlation to where they are, what planets, and how far out. Again, magnitude's another word for visibility, almost. Here's a chart showing you different things like the heliocentric data. You can look at it here. And they're showing you anything out there the size of Earth or super Earth would be very hard to see. They're trying to give you that idea of the magnitude. All right, hope you enjoyed. Thanks, guys.